Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars ATTE from 2022. It is set number 75337, comes with 1,082 pieces, including 8 minifigures, and retails for $140. With May the 4th just around the corner, I thought it'd be fun time to go over some of my favorite LEGO Star Wars sets in my collection from recent years, and I thought this would be a fun one to start off with, as it is still currently on shelves, and this might be a good time to pick it up for those May the 4th sales. I'll explain that later on, closer to the end of the video. Anyway, this is a pretty darn good looking set. There's a lot to go over, so we'll go ahead and start off. Here is a sticker sheet. Includes 11 stickers. There's most of them pretty big. Personally, I find it easier to get the larger stickers on more accurately than the smaller ones. So if you gotta have stickers, I'm glad they're bigger ones. And you'll find that I actually got these guys on pretty good. Here is the instruction manual. It's a pretty big one at that. Not surprised there, considering there's almost 1,100 pieces in there. And this was actually, I'm pretty sure this was my first face-to-face look at one of the instruction manuals where the image is a CGI render of the set instead of a copy-paste of the box art. Weird. And it's, and again, I'm not really sure how I figured that. And then of course, this was also my first encounter with the ad for the paper bags. Of course, it took quite a bit before I actually got a paper bag set. You actually saw that happen the very first time with the Jurassic Park 30th Anniversary Brachiosaur set. Anyway, it just jumps straight into the build mode. You see that the bags go all the way up to 6. Got a little tutorial on how to use the included brick separator. The back of the instruction manual shows all your parts, plus having taken a look at this just recently, a pretty good selection of LEGO sets. Of course, you have the ATTE itself, then you have the Soul Andor TV series set, and you got the Kenobi sets with the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader duel, and the Inquisitor transport scythe. You got the Justifier from the Bad Batch, and you had the $30 Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter with Taun We, the buildable BD-1 from Jedi Fallen Order, and then probably the standout, but not in a good way, set, the 4+ AT-ST. When I saw that set, it reminded me of like the memes where you're like, mentions like 3 or 4 items, that's certainly a match, and then like one other one was like, hey, wait a minute, one of these isn't like the others. And this feels like one of these isn't like the others, because all these are pretty decent sets, and then you got this guy. So I always thought that was kind of funny. So that's the action book. Let's go ahead and start taking a look at the set in its entirety, starting with the figures. So starting off, we get 3 of your standard B1 battle droids. Of course, one of them now has the straight arm, which we can been getting for a while, so nothing too crazy with the battle droid. With the exception of the weapons, all 3 of them have the standard like Star Wars blaster rifle. But unlike the weapons for the clones, will showing up in just a minute, all the battle which all the clone weapons are in the just the regular black. All 3 of the battle droids get the metallic gray blasters, which I honestly find rather interesting. All these guys get the really good looking gray blasters, while the clones only get the black. What's up with that? So I actually find that rather interesting. So nothing too crazy with the droids, but interesting choice of weapons. And next up, we get 3 of these standard 212 clone troopers. There's 2 of which are armed with the large Star Wars blaster rifle with the candle attachment on the front. One of which, the third is armed with your regular Star Wars blaster rifle. Of course, these guys do have the now controversial helmets with the inaccurate orange markings on the top Not that the orange isn't supposed to be there, but the fact that what you get in the set isn't accurate to the look you get on the box. It's actually quite a bit worse. But the figure also does have some gray markings all over. Implying that this armor has seen better days. It's kind of worn. Maybe there's some blaster marks. But other than that, it's a pretty good. It's a pretty good clone trooper. Got the orange markings quite a bit on there on the torso, the belt, the leg attachment, the legs themselves, and like I said, some good gray markings as well. Plus a little bit more orange in the back, and take off the helmet. It's just standard 501st Battle Pack clone trooper face. So again, Lego really shouldn't have lied about what the printing on the helmet shouldn't have looked like. But other than that, it's a pretty good looking figure, and it is nice that you get 3 of them. And next up, we have our 212 Gunner. Nice things addition to he said, as he is quite necessary. One thing I forgot to mention to 212 is that all of these guys, of course, have the helmet holes, which again brings up what I brought up at, I believe, with the 501st Battle Pack, which would have been, and it'd be nice if Lego had 2 molds for the Phase 2 clone helmet, one with helmet holes, one without. That way the ones that need the helmet holes, that have like the visors or rangefinder, have them available to them. But those who don't, or the ones who don't need them, like this guy, don't have them. And I think that would be a nice like meet in the middle area when it comes to the helmet holes. Almost like have two, keep both molds, one with the helmet holes, one without. But so again, this guy doesn't need helmet hole. Doesn't need the helmet holes, but it is what it is. Good printing on all of these guys. On this guy, like he has the brown markings on top with the heavy armor. I do like the addition of the armor, the extra armor plate on the front. On good printing on the legs. Things also, said he's and then printed a couple of straps, and they do wrap around to the back. To, I guess you could call it the belt buckle, where you notice you put in just a little bit of metallic silver painting on the buckle. So nice rendition and of the Gunner. Again, very necessary to the set. And finally, we have the figure everyone, literally everyone, wanted for so long. We finally got in this set. We have our Phase 2 Commander, Cody. He looks pretty darn awesome. He has all the markings on the helmet you expect him to have, but including the small orange markings right there on the chin. Of course, he does make use of the helmet holes. The one figure in this set actually does, because of the visor. Again, really adding weight to my idea of having 2 versions of the Phase 2 helmet, one with helmet holes, one without. The printing on the torso looks good. His rank insignia, his good colors. He has like that sun looking printing on the sunbeam printing on the chest. He's supposed to have the gray marking and the gray coloring in the middle, which he's supposed to have. Really shedding light on how bad the Clone Captain Vaughn from the 332nd Battle Pack, which I just reviewed. You can actually check out that video on my channel. Really shows how badly they messed up with him, considering this guy came out this set came out 2 years earlier, and they got all the markings done accurately. But with Vaughn, they messed up. Don't know what's up with that. Anyway, also good markings on the legs. And good printing on the back, where he has his printed jetpack. I know there are some people who wish that was a physical piece, but I'm glad they printed as well. However, one thing interesting with him is he has a different face than the rest of the clones. He's got some extra scarring above his left eye, like that large scar going through his eyebrow. Just a little bit extra scarring. And, right above that, and then an extra scar in the middle. Don't see anything extra on the back. Not to mention, he's got a different facial expression. It's the return of the angry clone. The angry clone was Commander Cody all along. Who saw that coming? Anyway, again, we were all wanting for LEGO to make a Phase 2 Commander Cody, and I think for his first rendition, they knocked him out of the park. So we got one more thing to take a look at before we look at ATTE. Of course, those 3 battle droids are going to be heavily outnumbered, so LEGO decided to provide them with a Dwarf spider droid. One thing people will say about this thing is that it shouldn't be in the set, and personally, I agree. This set is based off of the Battle of Utapau from the Revenge of the Sith, and you take a look at the scenes that take place on Utapau. This guy never shows up in the entire. Never shows up there. They do show up at the Battle of Kashyyyk, but not Utapau. So there are people who out there, myself included, who think that this guy should have been a crab droid. Unfortunately, we do get this guy, but I have to grade the set, review the set as it is, not as how we would like. Anyway, this guy is almost a complete copy paste of the Dwarf Spider Droid that we got with the 20th anniversary clone AT-RT. I'll leave a card up on the screen to my review on that set. But for a Dwarf Spider Droid, it's pretty good. Again, like I mentioned on the AT-RT review, interesting choice for LEGO for them to use a LEGO minifigure fencing sword for the antenna on this thing. Of course, main body, a lot of the main body is built up by one of these LEGO Star Wars style ball turrets. You'll see a lot of those on the ATTE. Again, it's a pretty much copy paste. Since the legs all have the same functionality and maneuverability. The one thing that they changed up with this set is that they got rid of the stud shooter and replaced it with this more traditional LEGO Star Wars gun that's completely brick built. They switched out playability for functionality and looks, make it look a bit more accurate. So it's not gonna do much against an ATTE, but it's a nice little addition and to the set. But again, I still feel like it should have been a crab droid. And here is the ATTE itself. This thing is a beast. It is good. It is heavy. It looks fantastic. One thing I know people are kind of disappointed about is that this is also the smallest version of the ATTE LEGO has ever put out, but that's not something you can knock it for. Or for the space LEGO had available to them, they certainly put in as much as they could. Visually, this thing looks fantastic from basically any angle you look at this thing at. It's got quite a fun and dynamic build to it. It's a good amount of stickers all around. Nothing too crazy, but everything adds something to the set. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing from front to back, starting with the cockpit. It's quite easy to open up. There is a Technic brick in there, just to the which slides onto that rod, and actually how you want to line it up with. Actually, let's take a look at this thing before. There's a simple seat in there, big enough for one character. He fits in there pretty snugly. There isn't any control panels or anything, but there are a couple control sticks. And so let's go ahead, throw on, for example, this guy right here. He's got plenty of space. So what you want to do is you want to line up these pieces with the slots right here, and it just slides in super easy. It's got a good tight grip on there. It's not gonna fall off accidentally. But it comes off. But it comes off pretty easily when you want to take it off as well. Good combination there. On front, of course, on the front to next to the cockpit, you got four of these ball turrets. It's one thing I remember people mentioning about these guys is that Lego changed up the design of how they did the guns. One thing I remember people saying about some of the gunships is that these turrets, which are used on the front of the Republic gunships, tend to come off of those a bit too like the guns like the barrels themselves tend to come off pretty easily. But Lego changed it up so that they're on there pretty tight. They're not gonna come off. Next up, we have the large mass driver cannon on the front. It rotates a full 360 degrees. It is on this. Let me see if I can get it off. Oh, not quite how I wanted to do it. There we go. It's on this ratcheted 4x4 plate. So that's why you hear the ratcheting there. Again, it's a full 360 degrees. The barrel itself is on a simple hinge there, so it has a good firing arc there as well. Oh, and it has a couple of the stud launchers on the side. Of course, those function pretty easily. You just pull back on the trigger, and it fires just fine. And if you lose the stud, that's fine. They provide plenty of extras. The instruction manual says as you get a total of 4 in the set, but I ended up getting 6. So it probably varies from set to set, but again, they do provide plenty of extras. The cannon has a control panel all on the front, and they make it super easy to put your clone gunner in there. Let me show you right there. There's literally no studs on there for him, so he slides on there pretty easily. Comes off super easy. The one downside with that is when you want to go to move the thing, you probably want to take the trooper out before you move it. Underneath the turret, and there's a good storage area. Actually, one of the nice things about is these panels. You see, you got a Republic logo on the side. Put some armor handling, and you notice that these are on, and there's some Technic pins, so they slide out just fine. Plus a couple of hinges is in between the two sections, so you can really open this. So you can really open this thing up. A lot of open space, and there's quite a few things in here as well. You may notice that I use this area to store my extra shots for the mass driver cannon. And in front of that, you have a 4x6 plate that's just sitting on some graded tiles. So where you can place two more figures. There's a wrench over on the left side. There's a cargo container. Open it up. You'll find a thermal detonator, and a pair of white macro binoculars. That's just saying. The crate is just saying there on a couple 1x2 tiles with jumpers. So it can be taken off and replaced super easy. On the other side, you got another display. You got another pair of 1x2 tiles with jumpers on it. On top of that, you get this little side build with 2 more thermal detonators. So again, like I said, this may be the smallest version of the ATTE they've ever put out, but they really make use of all of the space they have. Behind the mass driver, you have your standard handle to be able to pick up the thing. but as I've shown, this thing is pretty well. This thing is pretty well built. You can take a look on the at the underside. The whole thing is basically nothing but Technic. So this thing is pretty darn strong. You don't really you don't really need the handle, but it's nice that Lego provided it. And to take a look on the other side, this side, you got another Republic logo and another armor sticker. This one, but this one's a little different. As you can see, it's taking a little battle damage, so that's not. So that's a nice little touch. You'll notice that taking a look at the legs, they've got the front legs got a little bit of maneuverability here. Plus the foot moves around pretty well. The middle legs, on the other hand, they move quite a bit more. They move quite a bit more. And also, I like the added the touch of like these gear pieces to the joints. Also, you notice that the middle feet are quite a bit bigger than the ones in the front and back. Taking a look at the back, this whole thing opens up. You got two more of the ball turrets, and again, this whole thing opens up. So first off, you got a couple of hinge pieces connected to a couple of the connecting to the back. This thing just folds right down with some Technic pieces, and then you got the armor piece which move just like the on the front, and you got the top. And as you can, like I said, this thing really opens up. You're not gonna have any problem whatsoever with having either big hands and not being able to move around the stuff on the inside. This thing opens up as much as you could possibly ask for. So in the back, you've got another little attachment here where you can attach change your troops blaster rifles. You got 5 seats in here. So add the 5 in. So add the 5 seats in here. The 2 underneath the main cannon, and the main gunner seat and the driver. That's a total space for a total of 9 clone troopers. That is fantastic. So let's go ahead. So like I said, Ed, you got a grip here so you can attach some weapons, some empty 1x2 plates with jumpers. So that'll probably work. So that works well for attaching your large blaster rifles. Go ahead, slap Cody's back here. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Slap that back on there. And again, you got a total of 5 seats and a couple of accessories, one being a simple 2-piece build of a fire extinguisher, and strangely enough, a metallic gray coffee mug. Apparently, coffee exists in Lego Star Wars. And also on the back, you have a simple little control panel, which I imagine are supposed to be the controls for the 2 ball turrets in the back. So let's go ahead and put the rest of our clones back here. Oh, yeah, it is a little tight, especially with the attachment here for the blaster rifle. But you can't fit. But there's proof that you can't fit all 5 there. Or you can probably adjust the hands enough. So let's have Cody do this. That he can probably. Hey, maybe I adjusted them the wrong way. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You can almost get to where Cody is actually holding on to the controls. Now the blasters will stop falling over. So yeah, just go ahead and fold everything up. Ooh, and there we go. Yeah, there you go. Plenty of space for all your troopers. Folds up just fine. This is a wonderful version of an ATTE. This very first version I got a hold of of, and I am not disappointed whatsoever. So let's go ahead and move on to my final thoughts on this wonderful set. So, if you guys haven't figured it out, I love this thing. This is a fantastic $140 set. Wonderful rendition of the ATTE. So much functionality with this set between the mass driver and just how much you can open up that set. The wonderful space that you can fit in, like a total of 9 minifigures in this thing, plus a total of 5 clone troopers with this thing. One thing I remember, I remember hearing quite a bit, especially from like M&R Productions, is that a lot of times with like these large Clone Wars sets, like the ATTE or Republic Gunship, that you get so few clones in clone-focused vehicles. Fortunately, that does not exist with this set. Between the 3 standard 212 troopers, the 212 gunner, and Commander Cody, that's quite a few figures. I mean, that's enough to almost to basically fill up half the spots that this ATT can hold. So definitely nice on that. The 3 battle droids are they're just kind of thrown in there to make the $140 is not hurt so much. Again, interesting that they gave the battle droids the metallic gray weapons and the clones just the regular black. Again, I wish the Dwarf Spider Droid was a Crab Droid instead of Dwarf Spider Droid. It would have been one of the few. It's one of the few sets that would make sense for it to them include a Crab Droid. I know it doesn't show up much outside of Revenge of the Sith, only a couple episodes in the Clone Wars. Alright, so it would have been nice to get, but it is nice that the battle droids have a little extra firepower to go up against the ATTE. Yeah, there is one other thing that I've heard people say that it should have included, which I absolutely agree with. This specifically is the Princess Leia hologram from the Obi-Wan's Hut set that came out. I believe it also came out in 2022. Anyway, a couple of the Playscale Star Destroyer sets have this piece only with Emperor Palpatine, and that would have been a great addition to this set. This is from the Battle of Utapau, so right before Order 66. So it would have been nice that they included the Emperor Palpatine version of this piece to get to Commander Cody. Yeah, because let's face it would have just made sense. But other than that, I would give this thing a solid 9 out of 10. It's just short of that Emperor Palpatine hologram piece and a Crab Droid instead of a Dwarf Spire Droid to make this thing a solid 10 out of 10. Also, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you want to pick up this set, now is the time to do it. It is so close to that $160 price that you need to get all 3 of the promos that the LEGO is doing for May the 4th. Those being the AAT Polybag, the Death Star Trench Run coin, and the big one, the Battle Droid Troop Carrier for that $160 price point. Like, seriously, all you need to do is to hit that $160 price point is get this set, and then like one of the battle packs, like the 501st Specialist or the 332nd, or if you want, you can go on with the Clone Trooper and Battle Droid battle pack. And bing bam boom, there you are at $160, $170 if you get the Clone and Battle Droid Battle Pack. And again, bing bam boom, there you are. That's all your promos in 2 or 3 sets. So if you want to pick this thing up, I would highly recommend it. This is a great time to do it. It's a great set. I have no reason to say you should not pick up the set. This is fantastic. So, that is my review on this wonderful set. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you guys know what to do. You can check out some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I'll see you all in the next video. Later, everybody!